The films that I will be comparing are The Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Supremacy, and Green Zone, all directed by Paul Greengrass and edited by Christopher Roos. The opening scene of Green Zone is very fastly cut. Greengrass likes to film a lot using handheld cameras to add disjunction and confuse the audience. Greengrass and Roos can achieve a similar effect in this chase sequence in Ultimatum by using incredibly fast shots and many zoom-ins. I believe this was used to heighten the tension and amplify the car chase. He attempts to give off a documentary-like feeling with his camera work. It lacks a lot of structure. During the lead-up to an action sequence, there are medium-length shots. As we get closer and closer to the climax, shots become shorter and camera work becomes more shaky until we reach the peak in the scene. Shots suddenly drag out and are much longer than even at the beginning of the scene.
Walk over. Stop there.
Sure this is what they want back in Washington?
Roos was once explaining how he edits and the thought process he goes through when deciding what shots to and what shots not to use. And he says when choosing, he imagines himself in the position of each character. For example, here in this scene, Nikki is trying to hide from this assassin named Desh, and we see she is trying to be quiet and stealth-like without attracting any attention to herself. The shots are much longer and camera work is steady. We then cut to Bourne, and the camera is shaky and confusing, and cuts are incredibly shorter, fractions of a second even.
Got him?
Yeah, I see him.
I lost contact. I lost contact.
You came to us.
All three films use direct cuts for the most part. The only time that the shots are overlapping one another are during the Bourne films, where Jason has flashbacks and is trying to piece together the mystery of his past. We see and understand only what Jason Bourne does because of the lack of structure within what we see and what we hear.
To see this room. This is it. Let go of David Webb.
This is not a drill soldier. This is not a drill soldier. We're clear on that? This is a live project. With your code. With your code. Training is over. Training is over. Training is over.
The pacing of a conversation picks up as it gets more heated and banters back and forth. Shots become shorter and shorter, and camera work is a little bit more shaky. There is an obsessive amount of takes in scenes like these. Most directors would let the scene play itself out. In Ultimatum, there were over 3,500 cuts used, more than 5 times the average amount of film.
Secure that area. I want any evidence secured, and I want it done.
It's out on the market to the highest bidder? I don't think so.
Bourne's not after money. He's after Daniels for a reason.
Well, what does it matter what Bourne is after? When we find Daniels, and believe me, we'll find him. If you're right, we get Bourne too.
Kim, Box 3. I want to identify his method of travel. Stay on the local cops. We need a vehicle, a parking ticket, something. Langley's offered to upload any satellite imaging we need, so let's find a target for that. Danny, box 4. I need fresh eyes. Review the buy where we lost the Nesky files. Timeline it with what we know about Bourne's movements. Turn it upside down and see what we find. Come on, guys, we ran this guy's life with total control for all those years. We should be a step ahead of him.
Yeah. This is Briggs. We got a problem.
Parallel editing is used heavily in all three films. There is always some parallel action happening with Matt Damon's character and someone who is working in a higher position, calling the shots, usually Matt Damon's enemy.
All right, listen up. I need everybody on the Blue Forest tracker. Mac Delta, 85th XTF.
For an alleged government assassination program, codenamed Blackbriar. CIA Director Ezra Kramer is under criminal investigation for authorizing...
The ending of the Bourne Supremacy and the Bourne Ultimatum have very long shots. The films have reached their endings and the viewer can finally relax, just as Bourne now can. As I mentioned earlier, Bruce goes through this process when editing. He wants you to feel what the character feels, and we can see it right here.
And CIA Deputy Director Noah Both, the program's operational chief.
What do you want?
I wanted to thank you for the tape. We got what we needed. It's all tied off. It's over. I guess I owe you an apology.
Is that official?
No, off the record. You know how it is.
Goodbye.
Wait. David Webb. That's your real name. You were born 4/15/71 in Nixa, Missouri. Why don't you come in and we'll talk about it? Bourne?
Get some rest, Pam. You look tired.